Hey, greetings. Yes, as you know, it's Mr. Henry here. Yes, I'm back with another geographic video for you, and I hope you'll find it very interesting. Especially, I know that my second formers will find this video interesting because they're about to do exams like in the next week or so, and this may be a question that will appear on the exam. So the question is, what is the instrument that is used to measure rainfall? What? Oh, you're just kidding me, man. I know everybody knows what the instrument is. Yes, man. Instrument is referred to as a rain gauge. And here we are. Yes, I'm at home again. I'm at San Diego. Here we are. And we're at the mini weather station. You remember this? Yeah, man. What that name again? Come on. This is Stevenson screen. Yes, so this is a Stevenson screen. And right near to it, we have, let me turn this camera around.
So it has been a rainy day, and at this weather station, the meteorologist is ready to record exactly how much rain has fallen. Well, the first thing he has to do is wait until the rain ends. And the second thing, he has to go to an instrument which is used to collect the rainfall. And the name of that instrument is, yeah, you guessed it. It's the rain gauge. Let's have a look at the rain gauge. First, let's turn this rain off.
This strange looking thing that seems to be in the ground. Alright, so this whole instrument is known as the rain gauge, but really what the rain gauge is just several smaller pieces fit together. So the first piece, or the first component that makes up the rain gauge, as you can see, is this thing here. And this is known as a funnel. It's very simple. You might find it in your home, or daddy might have one in his car. So the first thing is called a funnel. Now this is the outer casing, or in some cases it's actually called the metal casing or the metal container, and that is what keeps everything inside. And what is inside, you may ask? Well, seems like darkness. I'm just kidding. Alright, so inside is what you will find. You know, you can read. Inside you would find what is known as a collecting jar, and that's what it does. It collects. So when the rain falls, it goes into the funnel, and the funnel directs or trickles it into the collecting jar. And at the end of the day, the meteorologist will come out, take out the funnel, remove the collecting jar, and then carry the collecting jar and its contents and pour it into a measuring cylinder. And that measuring cylinder will tell the meteorologist how much rain actually was collected. Very simple. Alright, so at the end of the day, the meteorologist would come out and examine his weather instruments, and in this case he would look at his rain gauge, he would remove the collecting jar and its contents. See all that rain? Well, maybe you're not seeing it, but maybe you're hearing it. And then he would get one of these. Yes, normally it would be much smaller, but because I want you to see it very clearly, and because, you know, Mr. Henry always overdo things, you know, overdo it. Alright, so this is the measuring cylinder, and he would take the collecting jar. I would gently pour, not throw, because someone always talk about him throw the water into the collecting jar. Never throw the water. That's very violent. He would pour. So he pours the contents. Yeah, you have to get every drop, you know. And then he would look at the measuring cylinder and determine how much rain actually fell during the period. So this is just for demonstration purposes that I'm doing right now. So if 400 milliliters of rain actually fell, wow, that means the place would probably be under flooding right now. And the meteorologist wouldn't be caring about his instruments. He'll be trying to save his life because maybe the country is flooding. Alright, so that's the measuring cylinder, and that's the collecting jar. Let's go back to the rain gauge. This is what the regular measuring cylinder would look like, but as you can see, you can barely see any numbers on it, so it would not be good for the video. But this is what probably would be at the weather station, and you might find these in your school lab. Yeah, so this is what the measuring cylinder actually looks like. The one that I had was an enormous one. And these are the kids that are making noise in the video. Yeah. Yeah, usually the one that says they are the kids is the one that makes the most noise in the video. Yeah. Alright, we can know who is ready for the camera. Yeah. Yeah, big up PRO. Yeah. Up top. I tell you. So, maybe that sun was blinding you. So here I have a transparent version so that you can look inside and see the actual components of the rain gauge. So as we said before, we have the funnel, and that directs the rainwater into the collecting jar. And then this is the outer casing that protects and keeps everything inside nice and tidy. Outer casing is usually made of metal, but in nowadays the outer casing may be made of a very sturdy plastic. This is my version of a rain gauge. You can make your own version of a rain gauge using your household items too. Alright, so we're back at the rain gauge. Well, the outer metal casing of the rain gauge, because as you can see, I still have the collecting jar, and I'm going to place the collecting jar back in. Gonna return turn the funnel. Alright, so let's examine this part of the rain gauge now. Alright, so why is it actually in the ground? Why do they need to put it in the ground? Well, let's see if I can illustrate. Alright, so I'm going to place this rain gauge. I'm just going to place it on the ground here. Perfect, right on time. That rain gauge is a paid actor. Let me try again. Alright, so you're seeing why? Yeah, so you couldn't just put the rain gauge on the ground. You have to place it actually inside the ground so that it's sturdy and it doesn't topple over. Because if it topples over, then all of the collected rainwater would just be wasted. So that's the first thing. Also, at least 30 centimeters remains above ground so that if there is actual flooding or if the water starts to collect and pool around this area, it doesn't run into the funnel. So that's why it's actually so high off the ground, so that the water does not splash off the ground and get into it, or run off the ground or run on the ground and get into the funnel, and that would give an improper or an incorrect measurement. Yeah, I sound muffled because still wearing my mask. Well, I was, so I took it off. So it doesn't allow the rain gauge to topple over and waste its contents, and also water doesn't splash off the ground and get into the rain gauge. Alright, so I didn't want to make a long video. I felt like this video is over 5, maybe over 10 minutes. That's not what I wanted. So until the next time, when we look at another interesting part of geography, Mr. Henry, and I'm out.